Welcome to the Place podcast. We took a little hiatus at the end of the year, but we are back now. So just wanted to make sure, if you haven't met us before, we are the Place. My name is Nicole Morgan, and this is Paige Whalen. Hi. She is our Director of Client Services. So think everything client facing minus our food pantry and our thrift store. So all those programs that are client facing. So today we are going to talk about client assistance and specifically financial assistance. So Paige, tell us a little bit about that, what it means for client assistance or financial assistance at the Place.
Sure. So financial assistance is when people come to us and need some type of help with bridging, being able to stay in their home or meeting their utility bills. And we call it a bridge because we don't want to create a long-term dependence on us, but it's an ability for them to be able to put food on their table, to get gas in their car, but also get their rent paid and move on to the next stage where they are stability.
Yeah.
Stable. They're stable.
Perfect. How long have you been at the Place and been over this area for financial assistance or client assistance?
Right. So I've been at the Place for 4 years, actually 4 years in February.
And
I know, right? and I have been in the client services director for almost all 4 years.
Okay.
When I came on, they hired me to do implement the case management program, and immediately after that our CEO was hired, and so I took her space and became the client services director. So, and I think that for me, having worked at almost 30 years in the nonprofit arena, I've always been part of the design and implementation of programs, and so I think that programs that support the community actually help make a more healthy community.
Yeah.
And when people can wrap around others and our neighbors, and it really makes us much stronger.
Yeah, definitely.
So
I love that you mentioned the wraparound services, because that is exactly what our mission is. So we are here for the essential needs and services, but also to help them become self-sustaining, which is where a lot of your programs come in, is that self-sustaining.
Right.
So for that, like the programs that help people get to be self-sustaining, financial help is paired with those, but tell us a little bit more about like the case management portion of it and how people get involved with that.
Sure. So, we have two types of clients, basically. We have the clients that come in, they just need immediate help just to get them through the month, whether it's partial rent payment or utility payment or something like that, and we probably won't ever see them again. But there are also clients who come in that might need a little bit more hand-holding, a little bit more wraparound support to get them to that place of stability. So we offer a case management program that they can enter into, and they get somebody that can help walk them through those tough places, that can help them with rent, but that can connect them to maybe mental health services, or can connect them to transportation services, so that there's a little bit long-term investment in that relationship, and that creates trust, and then they feel a little more successful in where they're going and what they need to do to have their household become stable.
Yeah, I think that's great. I love the relationship building, because that's one of our big things, right? You want the dignity, the relationships. I know that for some people, hearing that we do the financial assistance can lead to some negative misconceptions. So tell us a little bit more about, like, if you had to, or like some common misconceptions about the people who have our who receive our financial assistance.
Gotcha. So one of the biggest misconceptions is that they're always poor. There's somebody that's always using the system and stuff like that. Those are not the people that are coming to us. Most of the people that come to us are working or lost their job, and now they're in a situation that they can't keep food on their table, or they cannot pay their utility, or their hours were cut at their job. Another portion of people that come to us are our seniors who are on limited incomes.
Yeah.
And the rising cost of housing and the rising cost of our utilities are pushing people to really have to seek us out to be able to, sustain and keep that roof over their head or keep their heat on.
Yeah, definitely. I know that it is that common misconception, right? Because we're thinking about the people who maybe were already living paycheck to paycheck. That's how I explained it to my children.
Yes.
Living paycheck to paycheck, and then they may, like I did the other day, run over some nails that got dropped on the road, and all of a sudden you got to replace at least 2 of your tires.
Yeah.
Like that's an expense that no one was prepared for. So it's those emergency kind of situations that we see sometimes too.
Correct. And many of our clients are already, they don't have that safety net.
Yeah.
For most of us that are in a certain income level, we have a safety net, whether it's something that we saved over time, or we have family, and we have lots of family who could fill in the gap for us if we had some major catastrophe. But many of our clients are living paycheck to paycheck, even though they're making fairly good money, but they don't have either a support system or that extra savings account to be able to ward off a major medical incident or a major car wreck or a loss of job or loss of hours, which is becoming more and more common. Somebody that has a full-time job, they're having reduction of hours, and that eats into what they're able to do for their own family.
Definitely. So with that, when people come in here, they're not on their best, this isn't their best day, right? So why is asking for help so hard for some people? Or what do you want people to understand about when people do come in here to ask for our help?
Well, first of all, human nature, we're prideful people, we're proud. We don't want to ask for help. We don't think we need help. And it's very hard to do that and to admit that maybe something happened that was not planned, or that was of no fault of your own. And I think that what we try and do here is to create a warm, inviting, non-judgmental, how can I help you today? And many times they are on the brink of crying. I mean, and we have to be that person that takes that on. And so many times it's because they don't want to, it's the fear of coming into a place that they've never been before, right? And two, it's just, I've always been able to do it myself, and now I have to ask for help.
So how would they go about asking for help? What is the process of coming in or going online, or what do we need to do?
So first thing we do is we ask people to, if they call in, we'll ask them to go to our website, to our tab for financial assistance, and ask them to fill out a form. And that tells us kind of their basic information and what they need help with. And then we have, and if they are a person that doesn't know how to use technology very well, then maybe we will help them over the phone fill out that form. Or sometimes people will come in here and we'll sit here with them and fill out the form. Once they're in the queue, we are able to look at what they've sent us. Then we might ask them for additional documentation. And those documentations might include a 30-day bank statement. It might include the rental lease agreement. It might include, where they live, and for us to confirm that they live in Forsyth and Dawson counties. And then we'll have a volunteer caseworker or our financial assistance coordinator who will talk with them on the phone and really to better understand their individual circumstance. And then from there, we make a determination of how we can help them.
I think we've touched on a little bit, what can we support with?
So we do support with rent.
Okay.
We support with utilities. We do prescriptions. Sometimes we do medical, depending on the varying degree of what the situation is. We help provide transportation in certain situations. We are very intent on taking it on a case-by-case, individualized basis,
Okay.
because everybody has a different circumstance.
Yeah.
And so in that situation, it's really important that we listen to
Yeah.
what their need is, make sure we ask the right questions, and then make a determination based on what would best help them.
Yeah, perfect. So how do these, if we're helping with their rent, the utilities, how does that connect back to like employment and housing stability?
So if we can keep somebody in their house and a roof over their head, then they are more secure. They feel more secure about making sure that they can get food on their table, that they can, then pay their own utilities. And, if we can get their car working, a car is an imperative in Forsyth County and Dawson counties. We don't have public transportation. So if we can keep their car running, and so that they can get to their job, so that they can get their children to school or to childcare, then that helps create some of that stability.
Perfect.
Did I answer that correctly?
You did. I think you did a great job answering that. Because it's all connected.
It is all connected. I mean, if many times people come to us for employment assistance, and we have an amazing workforce manager, and she does amazing work with connecting people to the right job. But many times people are underemployed that come to us. And so maybe they need somebody to help them, connect them to a better employment situation so that they can become more stable with better income.
Yeah, which may be something we find out when we get their paperwork for the rental assistance.
Exactly. Or sometimes with rent, we have, and this happens quite often, the person really needs to be in a different lease situation, and maybe their rental property is costing them too much. And so we will help them figure out where they need to be, and maybe help them find another place to live that's more in their budget.
Yeah. And you're seeing trends-wise with rent and utilities, both are on the rise.
Oh, they're just exponentially, especially utilities.
Yeah.
I see these every day. I see the bills every day, and I'm just floored at how high the rates have gone.
Yeah. With that too, made me think about, like, with our timeline and with the utility bills, like, yes, it's really hard to come in, but we can't, because there is a process, you can't come in with your bill due yesterday. Like, we need a little bit of time to be able to look at your paperwork and then be able to help, right?
Right.
So what does that timeline look like usually?
That's a great question. So usually it takes us 3 to 5 business days to assess your need, get in touch with you, and process everything. Utilities are easy because I can do that right away. I can, as soon as we make a determination, I can pay that bill. So that's good, right? But it is hard because sometimes people are like, oh no, today I don't have the money and the bill was due yesterday.
Yeah.
And so we really try and help. We really try and expedite those if we can.
Okay.
But with the lease, with the rental, it takes a little longer.
Yeah.
If the client does not send in the paperwork that we're asking for, requesting, that will take longer for us to make a determination. And I think that we're also, we have to make a determination if we're going to pay partial of that rent, because we have so many needs and so many requests.
How many requests would you say you get a month?
A month we get over 100. Sometimes it could be up to 150 requests for assistance. And out of all of those, we are able to fulfill about 3/4 of
Okay.
those assistance requests, which is a great thing.
Yeah, it's huge.
Many times, the reason we don't fill a request is because perhaps the person said, "Oh, I found somebody to help me. I don't need that," or which is awesome.
Yeah.
Or maybe the person doesn't live here. Maybe they were for Forsyth, Georgia,
Yeah.
not Forsyth County, and they've
Common.
applied for help, and it's not
Yeah.
legitimate. So, but it's a lot. It's a
Yeah.
lot.
And I've heard you talk about with the rents too, because we work directly with the landlord or
Yeah.
the company or the power company or whatever it
Right.
is. Like, we don't give checks to the clients.
Right.
We pay a bill for them.
Right.
So it's become more difficult for you recently with rent because
Yeah.
a lot are going to management agencies, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
how is that affecting what you're able to do?
So recently, what's come up is that the rents are they're wanting us to pay it online through the client's portal,
Okay.
and that's difficult for us because we can pay things online,
Yeah.
but we use our credit card, and we don't want to put it into the client's portal
Yeah.
because then they have access to
Yeah,
our
that's right.
funds. So in some cases we're able to work out a situation with a rental company,
Okay.
but the more that the rental companies become somewhere else and
Yeah.
not local,
Yeah.
then that makes it harder for us. So sometimes what we'll do is we'll say, okay, we can't pay your rent. Do you have some utilities that you would
Okay,
like for us
so-
to help you with?
So
Is
that
there
way they can put
something
that money
else that
towards
we,
rent.
right,
Yeah.
exactly. Is there something else we can help with that would help you offset and you
Okay.
be able to pay for your rent?
I love that. And how often can someone request help?
So we have had to really be efficient at putting our foot down
Yeah.
at a year. They
Okay.
cannot ask for help for a year.
Okay.
And that is mainly because we have so many requests that we have to be able to try and help as many people as we can.
Yeah.
And so, and we don't want them to become dependent on us.
Yeah.
We want them to figure out how to become, not to rely on us for every need.
Okay. So
Okay.
with that, we've talked a little bit about the clients and how we can help them. Talk a little bit about the staff, because they are hearing these stories every single day, and how does that start to weigh on them? Like, how are they doing?
Oh, my
Big
staff,
question.
my staff are the most amazing, most compassionate, most caring, people to work with our clients.
Mhm.
Everybody is treated with such respect and dignity when they
Yeah.
walk into our offices. And but because we do this every day, 40 hours a week, compassion fatigue is a real thing.
Yeah.
And so there's always some of us take mental health days.
Yeah.
We've had some tough cases and we just need to deflate a little bit. We always trying to find humor around the office, and the more we can laugh, the more it kind of helps ward off those gremlins a little bit. And I think it's just making sure some of us take walks. If we have a hard case, I know that some of my people, they'll say, okay, we got to go out for a walk, and it's just a way to deflate, because it does get heavy. It really does. And so we try and find all the things that each person may have a certain way of handling it, but we really try to honor that for each staff member, whatever that looks like.
I think that's really important. And I know I told you when Hollis did it, when I somehow got a client phone call and she went through her whole story, and it was a lot, and so I transferred it back over to Hollis. But when I went to talk to him about it, he checked on me. Like
Right.
he's used to, he
Right.
does this, like you said, 40 hours a week.
Yeah.
I had to handle it for 10 minutes.
Right.
And
right.
he's checking on me because that was, I mean, so you have
Yeah.
you have some really amazing
Yeah.
staff.
And so we have to check on each other.
Yeah.
I mean, that's part of making sure that we don't become burned out.
Yeah.
And making sure that we're all healthy to be able to help those that
Yeah.
are maybe in that situation that they don't feel healthy.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, definitely. Okay. So we've talked about clients, we've talked about staff. Who makes this program possible?
Well, you all do. The staff do, absolutely. Our volunteers, I mean, we couldn't do the work with our core of volunteers because we're such a small staff here at the place that if it weren't for our volunteer core, that, I don't know what would happen.
Yeah.
But I also would say that our nonprofits, our local nonprofit partners, I would say, like PWB, Joy of Hope, and United Way, and then our church partners, Coming First United Methodist Church, and several others that come to mind, but also our we have a great relationship with the DCA at the state level, which is the Department of Community Affairs. I would say that all of our social workers, oh my gosh, our social workers at Dawson County schools and Forsyth County schools. I mean,
shout out to them.
Right? They do so much. But if it weren't for all of our partners in the community, I mean, it would be really hard to do this work. Because we are able to really, I call it wrap around, but kind of give a hug to every client that comes in because of people supporting us. I would say that we love all our individual donors, and that no matter what that donation looks like, even if it's $50, that goes a long way for us. And so, you can't underestimate the power of community. Yeah.
And we have some amazing, like you said, individual donors, but also ones who are doing monthly donations as well. So that helps us sustain what we know we're going to have to deal with. So that's that continuous need that we have, whereas the 100 to 150 requests a month, where sometimes those one-time donations will come in and be able to help out, like with the SNAP crisis. It was great to have some of that influx so that we could send more out as we were able to fill that urgent need.
Yeah, and we have great partnerships like St. Vincent de Paul.
Yeah.
So we communicate on a daily basis, and we try and share the load of who's asking for financial assistance.
Yeah.
If you can't help, can you help?
Yeah.
Or, can we help them together?
Yeah.
Especially if it's a big crisis for a client.
And that brings up another point, because I know we've had that asked before, but we have a way to track who has asked for help, right?
Yeah.
And so we can keep track of what we've been able to do for them in the past, or if we're working with a partner agency who is also helping, we can put that information in the system.
That's right.
So we know how they've been touched recently.
Yes, exactly.
Beautiful. Okay, so for you personally, what impact do you see from this program, the financial assistance itself?
I see hope that people come in here devastated by something that's happened to them or their family, and just when they leave here, they feel a little more hopeful, whether it's because we helped with their partial rent and they knew they could get the rest, or whether we were able to keep their lights on, or
heat
for seniors. Yeah, absolutely. That they feel hopeful that, okay, I've overcome this now.
Yeah.
Maybe it won't ever happen again, but right now I've overcome this situation.
Yeah.
And so I think it's just seeing that and just feeling that they're so grateful, whatever we can do to help them. And people say that all the time. They'll say, I'm just grateful. This is, we might think it's really small, the way we help them, right? we wish we could give them thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
But they are, so many of our clients are just so grateful even just for walking in and getting a hug from one of us.
Yeah.
You know, in their time of need.
Yeah.
You know, they're very upset, and
Yeah.
just to be able to make them feel seen.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And valued as a person.
Right.
Yeah. I got a call over end of year, and it was a donor, or it was someone who wanted to become a donor, but she had been helped back in 2008, I want to say. And she said that she kept our card, like the place card, with her bills, that she put her bills all in a pile each month. And with that, she always had the place card because she knew back in 2008, we kept her in her home. And like the only reason why she continued to have these bills was because of us. And so this year, she sent us a check to pay back that assistance we gave her.
Yeah.
And it was just so hard.
It is. It's so heartwarming to know. And people say that there are clients that come in all the time and they'll say, I just want to give you $5 because you helped me have a shower when I didn't have a place to go.
Mm.
Or I remember the woman that does the haircuts that we helped her. It was a different circumstance. And now she's a month, which, you know, that's what we want, right? Because we help them in that moment of strife for them.
Yeah.
But now they're able to give back.
Yeah.
And it's so, it is heartwarming.
Yeah, definitely a rewarding feeling when you get that.
Very.
I'm sure for your team, very much so.
Absolutely. It's really, we share as many wins as we can with each other, whether it's in person that the client has said, or sometimes they'll just send an email and say, oh my gosh, you made all the difference in the world. And so we try and take those wins and celebrate them.
Yeah, definitely. So going back to the place and its approach, what would you say sets us apart from some of the other organizations maybe doing similar things, or other agencies where they can maybe find help? What sets the place apart?
I mean, I think, of course, I think my team sets the place apart because they're very attentive and everything. But I think for us, we look at it as a relationship.
Yeah.
And we know, or we feel like we can be that trusted source for people. And that relationship provides that grounding for the trust. And so, and I also think because we look at it very individually, that person may not know that, but we know that we're just looking at that one person, what their circumstances, what their bill is, what they need, how else we can help them. And when we pour into that for that one person, they know that that's become a relationship. Yeah. So if they need to, and if they need to call back 2 years from now, they know who to call. Yeah. Right? They know who to talk to. Yeah. So I think it's all about relationship. I really do. And I'm not sure, I think there might be other people that see it that way, other organizations, but I feel like myself, my team, our organization completely embraces that. Yeah.
Do you have to give a shout out to Jessica too?
Oh my gosh.
So Jessica is trilingual, pretty much.
She's probably like quadrilingual at that.
She knows Spanish, and then when we had a lot of Ukrainian clients coming in, she taught herself that as well, which I think is huge for that relationship building, right?
Exactly.
You feel more comfortable when someone can speak to you in your language.
100%. It's so funny about Jessica because they literally, people come in here asking for her. Aww, and I don't even know if they know who she is, but somebody told that person to go find Jessica at the place. So when the Ukrainian war was going on and we had a lot of immigrants coming here, she did learn Ukrainian, and then she learned Russian because some of them speak Russian as well. And then she learned, so she's quick and easy. She wants to do that because of the relationship.
Yeah. I think that's so cool.
I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah, I love your staff. They're
I
awesome.
know. Thank you.
Okay, so as we start to wrap this up a little bit, if someone listening or watching wants to support this program, how would you direct them?
I would direct them to you.
I'll take you.
They can go to our website. I would encourage you to go to our website, or I would encourage somebody to go to the website and check it out and check out all the things that we do under financial assistance, but all our programs under need help.
Yeah.
Because it does have a great explanation of the things that we do. But I also, you just posted the impact report on the website, which would give great information about what our impact is in our community. And then either you can go online, and up at the top of the website you can make a donation, or they can call you, Nicole. Yeah.
My lines are always open.
Always open. That's right.
Perfect. So, what about volunteering? Can they volunteer, or do you need any more volunteers right now?
We can always use volunteers.
Yeah.
My suggestion is go online and under the volunteer tab.
There you go.
And then you could put in look around and find maybe something that you might be interested in.
Yeah.
Or you can always call our volunteer coordinator on your team.
Yeah, Amber.
Great, Amber. and kind of let her know what your skill set is, or maybe what you think you might want to volunteer for, because that's the best match. And we'll try and find a place for you.
Are there any, so of course we can always use monetary donations.
Of course.
And then volunteering your time. What about items? Is there anything tangible that people could bring that you need right now?
Yeah, of course. Right now, because it's cold, we're still doing our coat drive. And so we are in desperate need of coats. But we are always in need of hygiene kits and snack packs and, things that can easily be
Hands out. Do you think? What about diapers? Wipes?
I was going to say diapers, wipes, formula.
Okay.
We're always in need of those types of things. If you have a question about what we could use, please call us or email us. And Jessica, who's at front desk, will definitely tell you what we could use. But yeah.
Okay. Perfect. I did hear Jessica the other day say we might be out of wipes, so maybe we can.
Yeah, we definitely should. Yeah, wipes are a big thing. We have a great partnership with the diaper bank, but we've run out quickly.
Yeah.
And wipes we've run out almost immediately. So wipes are always something you need.
Okay. I know we talked about donations, but did want to let you know that coming up, we have a matching campaign coming up thanks to the Community Foundation of Northeast Georgia for Northeast Georgia. And those funds will go directly back to client assistance and financial assistance and keeping people in their homes. So be sure to be on the lookout for that. We'll link it in the show notes. And then also we'll be sending out a newsletter this week and an e-blast next week, and probably social media. Awesome. So we will get that out to you, but be looking for that, because then your donation can go even farther. Anything else you want the people to know?
Thank you so much for your, thank you for having me, first of all. And, I'm glad to live in a community that cares about their neighbors. I feel like that when we have neighbors that see there's a need, they really step up. Yeah. So I'm grateful for that.
We might have said that every single show so far, just how amazing this community is, and it is. That's why our campaign, which I didn't say the name, is have a heart for our community, because we're all a part of it, and a lot of the times it's your neighbor who needs assistance, and so when you hear someone who needs assistance, send them our way, but know that, it could be, a lot of us, it could be us next month who needs it. So just remembering that and helping out where we live.
100%.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for watching. Please share, and we hope to see you soon. Thank you, Paige.
Thank you.